will see that I'll be right here by your side. All the thoughts that take you into space, all your prophecies and all your fears aside.
Welcome to Basscast number 10. I am Red X.
And I am the real Red X.
There's two Red X's here today.
Yeah. As you can see, the real one's talking and the fake one is not talking.
The fake one is now talking currently. Alright, so I have been reminded.
Of what?
I have been reminded of one of the first DJs that I used to listen to when I first got into electronic music. So, as you know, Alex, clearly because you were there, you and I went to see Seven Lines' tour. It's called the Journey 2 tour. And basically it is it's the show that he's on tour with right now. And I actually don't know how long it's been going on. I think it's been going on for several months so far.
Yeah, I want to say it's like at least been 2 months or something like that.
Okay. And then I think it might go on for at least another month or so, and maybe on into a little bit of 2019. And we are recording this a little bit early. It's worth mentioning. However, we saw the Journey 2 tour, and I was reminded of how fantastic Seven Lines' music is. Seven Lines makes beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous music, and we will get into that. But first, let's get into the different DJs we saw. So we saw Seven Lions at House of Blues Orlando. Alex actually flew in. What did you fly in? Friday night?
Yeah, I flew in Friday night and then I stayed till Sunday morning.
Friday night to Sunday morning. The show was Saturday night and it started at 8:30, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
7:30, 8:30.
Yeah.
So we actually arrived at the venue, and I don't know if we want to get into this. This venue, this is my favorite venue in Orlando because there's no price to park, so free parking. And it is at Disney Springs, which is like outdoor mall type area that Disney owns and operates, and there's tons of restaurants, tons of bars and stores and shops and entertainment stuff, and there's a movie theater, a bowling alley, all sorts of stuff to do. And along with all that is the House of Blues, is Orlando's House of Blues, and that's the venue that Seven Lions was at. And so we got there, I think we got there maybe 5 or 10 minutes left until AU5 was about to go on.
Mm-hmm.
When we got there, the DJ playing, I remember seeing the name Fat Cat. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I know it started with an F.
I wrote down on my phone.
Maybe.
I wrote down that it was Fat Cat.
Mm-hmm.
I spent about 15-20 minutes today trying to find something on Fat Cat on SoundCloud, Twitter. I Googled. I could find nothing. I found a DJ Fat Cat from Spain. I don't think that was him. We got there, we only heard maybe 2 or 3 minutes of this guy's set, so I don't really remember what happened. I don't really remember what kind of music he was playing. I don't remember any visuals.
Yeah, there weren't really much visuals. It was just his name on the front screen. And from what I can remember, when we entered the venue, he was mainly playing house music, so I assume that he was just a house DJ. Maybe he was just a local DJ, just for House of Blues before the actual concert, started with AU5.
Yeah, definitely could be. Definitely could be local. I promise I Googled Fat Cat Orlando, Florida, Fat Cat DJ. I could find nothing. I found nothing on him. So Fat Cat, if you're out there and you hear the podcast, reach out to us at WebOfRedX on Twitter, or find me on SoundCloud at I think you can SoundCloud search WebEv and you'll find me. But anyways, yeah, that's all we have on Fat Cat because couldn't find anything. Either way, Fat Cat was obviously not the reason we were there. The first full DJ set we saw was AU5. AU5 was the opener for Seven Lions. AU5, Alex, I would consider you more of an AU5 fan than me.
Yes.
I think we've discussed this before, and I think you said that I discovered AU5 before you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
because I specifically remember you showing me a couple of his songs.
Well, I don't remember that, but I'll definitely take credit for it. But yeah, AU5 is definitely a DJ and producer that we have been listening to for, I would say, 3 or 4 years now.
Oh yeah, I'd say at least 4 years.
And I think I speak for both of us when I say we both really, really like his music. We love it's going to be hard to explain it, but it is more of a dubstep beat, although it's more chill sounding, although it's also very glitchy sounding. I don't know if that's the best way to describe his sound.
I can see some of his songs being glitchy.
It's like glitch step. Is that a genre? Can we make that a genre?
Yeah, we just did.
It's like chill glitch step.
Yeah.
So that's AU5. At least that's the music that he makes. And like I said, we are both pretty big AU5 fans, and we have been for a while now. We were both definitely excited to see AU5 live. What were your thoughts on his live set?
So I thought his set just sounded, exactly like most of the music that he would make or that he would play. I know that in the past couple of years, I don't know, 4 years ago, he would, strictly make, his hard sounding music. And now he's kind of gone through he's made different types of music. He's made chill music. He's made, just some very, not really ambient music, but I guess some chill house music also. And then also along, he would also come back to his roots and start making, some more hard sounding music. And I mean, the majority of what he played in his set was that, mixing in some of his vocals from his pretty well-known songs, and mixing them into some of his own original songs. Again, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, he definitely mixed, like, house music beats along with his more usual dubstep beat type songs. Like he was almost, I would say he was almost 50-50.
Like 50 good? Like, wait.
No, 50-50 house beats, 50-50, like 50-50 house beats, dubstep beats.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And, now, to kind of get to the overall set of AU5, from my opinion, it was,
I already know where this is going. I already know you're going to be disappointed.
I think I overhyped myself and thought, and maybe this is because he's an opener and not like a headliner. And I know the headliner, you're supposed to save all the best. You're supposed to save all the best visuals. You're supposed to save the loudest part of the set, of the whole entire concert for the headliner. You're supposed to do that mainly for every single EDM concert that you're supposed to go to, or that you're going to. That's usually how it goes. You save everything, the best of everything, for the headliner. Now, listening to AU5's music for a long time, and then listening to it live, it just didn't really. Maybe it's because just having the front screen with your flashy visuals. I mean, yes, all that is cool and all, but
yeah. Well, that's a good point. Like for both of the openers, which was it was Fat Cat, then AU5, and the next was Jason Ross. The only visuals they really had were some colored strobes and a front screen that was in front of the turntables desk. So, they've only got like basically one screen to have their actual like screen visuals on.
Right.
But I think, like, I already know why. Like, I already know why you were not a big fan of. I mean, I know you like the set. I already know though why it didn't blow you away like you hoped. Because like I know how you are. I know you love to hear songs that you know. Like we've been over this in past episodes. Like I know that you want to hear all the songs that you know. Which I understand that and respect that, but like you also gotta respect the DJs who are, showing off their unreleased stuff or showing off what they're doing, on in the future.
Yeah, and again, that's what you're saying is that's a personal thing for me. Like personally, I absolutely would love to see a DJ that plays songs that I know, but I'm all down for DJs playing songs that are unreleased and that they're trying to get to like a different direction, like we've talked about in past podcasts, and I'm all down for that. But again, I say personally, I have a better time when DJs play songs than I know.
So, like, are you saying that you'll, like, never be able to, like, you'll always want to hear, I understand what you're saying. I understand that, like, I get it. I get that you want to hear the songs that you know. I get that. But, I mean, you don't want a DJ to be so predictable that you don't hear anything new, right? Because I love going to one of these live shows and hearing a song that I've never heard. And there were several times during this concert where, I was trying to hear the lyrics so I could, search it when I get back home. Because I love discovering new music.
Right. Me too.
So, like, will you ever be able to be open to, like, a full-on electronic set that has completely new music you've never heard of? The answer, no.
No, okay. Now, you mean like any kind of genre of music or like specifically bass music?
I mean, like, take AU5. So, like, let's say we went to another AU5 set or another AU5 performance, and AU5 did, like, every song that he played you had never heard of. Like, would you just be 100% disappointed?
Okay, so let me get this straight. So you're saying, you asking me, hey, Alex, let's go to an AU5 concert, but I'm telling you right now, 100% of the music that he's about to play is going to be unreleased, and you have never heard of it before.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you excited for that, or are you not excited for that?
I will take the set with a grain of salt.
Oh, wow, that sounds deep. Wow.
Meaning, like, knowing that it's going to be unreleased music that I'm about to hear, then I'll, from then on, then I'll make my own judgment about whether I like the song and whether I don't like the song.
Okay. I can respect that. I enjoyed AU5's set. I do have to say, if I'm being totally honest, I think both of our favorite AU5 song, both of ours favorites. How do I don't know grammar.
Both of our favorite AU5s. Both of our favorites.
How do you say that?
Both my favorite song of AU5s.
Both of ours favorite song.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway,
grammar. It's not really needed in podcasts, is it now?
I guess not. Just remember, everyone, that this is a product of Alabama education right here. That is the bottom line when listening to Basscast.
We did have English classes for those that are trying to joke. We did have English classes.
Some English classes. SUM. Right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, long story short, our favorite AU5 song, collectively, I would say, is Snowblind.
Yeah.
Which is an absolutely gorgeous song.
Okay. Before you move on, let me check on SoundCloud real quick. There is... Okay, well, song made by AU5, yes, is probably going to be Snowblind. Now, if you want to talk about, like, overall AU5 song, like, including remixes that were, like, of his songs but made by somebody else.
So Snowblind would not be number one for you if you count everything? Is that what you're saying?
Hold on. There's a, what is it? Is it... There? Okay, so his song Follow You has a super, super good remix, and I cannot remember who did the remix for it.
Oh, but it's not an AU5 song.
It's not an AU5 remix. It's an AU5 song that was remixed.
Okay, and I'm glad you brought that up, but that is not an AU5 song.
Okay.
Like, I would not consider that an AU5. If AU5 creates a song, and then so-and-so creates a remix of that song is no longer AU5's song. That the new song is now so-and-so's song.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I mean, it has to be thought that way, right? And, like, I see this so much, like, I'll see, DJ A create a song, and then DJ B remixed it, and then I'll hear people say, "Oh, I love that song by DJ A." Well, DJ A didn't actually create the song. DJ A created the original. The original's great, but then you're listening to the remix. The remix is technically a completely new song, right?
Right. Yes.
I mean that, and the same obviously goes for bootlegs, flips, VIPs, all that stuff. So I mean, it's technically a new song. It's using a lot of the original music from the original song, but it is technically a new song.
Yes.
Anyways, all that to say, I think Snowblind is probably, if not it's one of the most, one of our favorite AU5 songs. And I have to admit, I think we were both a little bummed that he didn't play it. And I think it's one of his top played songs on Spotify as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Snowblind?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I know it's one of his most popular.
Okay.
But,
hold on 1 second. Okay, so I don't think it is a remix. I think it is a VIP mix. So does that mean that he actually did it?
Like, it's just the name of the song that says VIP mix?
Well, yeah. So the song is called "Follow You," and then after it's called VIP mix.
That probably means that AU5 did a VIP of his own song then.
Okay, so my favorite AU5 song would be a tie between this song and Snowblind.
Interesting. Okay.
Because this VIP mix of Follow You that he did, it is good.
Well, I mean, like I said, like we have both been listening to AU5 for a while, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we used to we used like when we would talk about him, we would call him Au5, didn't we?
Or
Au5.
Au5 or Aus or
No, I'm pretty sure we said Au5.
Au5?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Like, and because it looks like Dead Mouse, but like without the M and the dead part. So maybe we did say Au5 or something like that, or Au5.
I'm pretty sure we said Au5, but
I think we said it in all the different kinds of ways that you can say it.
yeah.
They're just saying it
like he was
for character, whatever.
He was definitely one of our first collective favorite DJs, like one that we both really, really liked, like at the beginning.
Yes. Right.
And that was not a huge name either. But that was AU5. I would say AU5 is a perfect candidate for if you've got a friend that you're trying to introduce to EDM music and, they don't know, like maybe they don't know much about electronic music, but they want to at least try it. I would show them an AU5 song because, first of all, AU5 is pretty diverse in the music that he makes. But on top of that, the music is very catchy, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
So, that was AU5. Anything else on AU5?
Well, yeah, just that, I mean, I think his set could be so much greater if he was a headliner. I think his show would have been, or his set would have been a greater, in my opinion.
I mean, wouldn't every DJ be better if it was a headliner? I mean,
yeah,
for real.
Yeah, I think so. And again, he did play songs that we knew. But I mean, overall, his set was all right. It wasn't the best set. It wasn't the worst set. It was all right.
I mean, I think it was good. It was my second favorite set of the night, I would say.
Oh, the night? Yeah, it was my second favorite set as well.
Yeah. So yeah, that was AU5. AU5 is fantastic music to listen to while you're working on the computer, while you're driving. Great music to listen to there. But I think we were both a little on the downside as far as AU5's live show. Which, again, that kind of matches my theory. I mean, AU5 is somewhat future-bassy music. And, I mean, it is... I don't know, it's hard to describe AU5's music. It's glitchy, future dubstep.
Yeah. I mean, if you check out his music, you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's not hard dubstep. It's not like hard bassy dubstep. It's better music. It's music that's better to listen to like while you're working around the house or while you're driving. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that was AU5. AU5 went on for an hour? I think he went from 8:30 to 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
And then after AU5 was Jason Ross. Jason Ross is mostly house. This is very interesting. So Jason Ross also went for an hour. And my biggest takeaway about Jason Ross was that he played house music and big room and some trance and basically 130 BPM music for about 40 minutes, and then all of a sudden he dropped like a hard trap song in the middle of his set.
Mm-hmm.
It like made no sense. I mean, I was okay with it. It was kind of random. But I did enjoy Jason Ross's visuals on the front screen. I think ultimately it's basically a loop, like where he's just basically doing different designs and different features with his Jason Ross logo, which ultimately is just like a J, like an uppercase J next to a lowercase R, and then obviously he's got the word Jason Ross spelled out.
Okay, because I was trying to figure out what that logo was.
Yeah, like
I knew that was supposed to be his logo. It just didn't really make sense to me. It was
like J. It's like uppercase J, lowercase R.
Okay, now that makes more sense to me.
So yeah, that was I think I liked his visuals more than AU5's visuals. Obviously, both of the two producers were using only the front screen that was in front of the DJ desk, or what do you call it? The DJ table? Is that what you call it?
Well,
is there a specific, like a scientific name for that?
Well, I mean, you don't really. I guess you can call it the front portion of the stage. I mean, the main deck, I guess. Like,
the main deck.
How the stage was set up is there's a huge screen that the openers they didn't use that. Only 7 lines would use that. And then for the front part of the stage, there was the long stand or the long deck that you have your turntables and your mixer on, and then in front of that there's a screen to show the opener's visuals. So I guess you would call that front portion of the stage with the screen in front of it.
Right.
I guess I don't know if you would. I guess you could call it a table. You can call it whatever you want. I guess you call it the front table, the front deck. I don't know.
Well, I mean, either way, I think I enjoyed Jason Ross's visuals a little bit more than AU5's. I enjoyed AU5's music more than Jason Ross.
Same.
I would say, though, Jason Ross, like, towards the end, he started playing more and more trap, and he kept saying, like, before he would start playing his songs towards the end, he would say something like, this is an unreleased, or this is what I'm working on, da-da-da. And a lot of them were trapped towards the end, and so I think he might be moving more towards producing trap music. And obviously, if that's the case, that I am 100% totally fine with that. Before we went to the show, I did go through his Spotify top 10, and he does have some really, really catchy songs. Although the problem with this is, I mean, Alex and I obviously are like we're more bass music fans, and so we don't get up as much for like house music and trance music. I mean, I can listen to trance music all day if I need to, but like if I'm going to be at a live show, I definitely want to hear dubstep and trap and the more bassy type music. But yeah, again, that being said, I mean, Jason Ross did not do his set was not boring at all. It was very entertaining. It just seems like whenever he dropped a whenever he dropped a trap song, it just felt like the audience got more into it. Like, did you get that vibe?
Yeah, I feel the exact same way as you do, except for listening to the trance all day. I couldn't do that all day. I could probably do that for 5 seconds, and then,
that would only be like 1/1000th of the song.
This would have to be the fastest trance song in the world, Evan. Imagine that.
I cannot even fathom.
Like a hard style trance.
I mean, trance, the build-up alone is 20 minutes per song. So.
I know, right. Again, I can't listen to slow, progressive music. It pains me on the inside. I'm sorry for the people that like to listen to
time out. It cannot. Okay, would you rather listen to trance for a day or country music for a day?
Wait, what?
Trance music for a day or country music for a day?
Oh, trance music all the way.
Yeah.
And I can't. No. If I had the option of that, I could not stand country music. Oh man, I could not listen to country music at all. In that situation, I have to pick trance. But when it comes to, I guess, EDM and listening to sets, I guess I have a tiny bit of ADD and like I just want the song to just come on, get to the drop. Like I'm ready to hear the drop. Like
you just like ready to get to the drop as fast as possible.
I'm not. I mean, yeah, let it build up. Give it like I don't know, like a minute or so. But don't give it like 10 minutes until the drop or whatever. I know that's not. I know I'm exaggerating there with some of with trance, but like, trance is it's just slow for the build-ups, and I just don't like it like that. Like I do bass music. There's people out there that do like that and that don't really care for bass music, and so I'm okay with that because that's y'all's own opinion and that's my opinion. So
sounds like you need to broaden your horizons, Alex. Wow.
I mean,
well, to any trance fans listening, I'm okay with trance music. I'm not listening to trance music all day, but there are some really pretty trance songs and progressive songs. So, and like I said, like we've gone to the trance stage at EDC, and like I get it. Again, it's just not our cup of tea though. But I don't think I think it can be. I think it can definitely be catchy enough to listen to for a while. So, anyways, that was Jason Ross. I would highly suggest checking out Jason Ross on SoundCloud. Do what?
I thought you were looking for the word recommend.
I would say more suggest.
Okay.
I would definitely suggest to people go check out Jason Ross, whether you're a house and progressive trance fan or a bass music fan, because he is getting more into trap music, I would say. So that was Jason Ross. Anything else on him?
No, I mean his set was okay. Again, not as good as AU5's. But yeah, I mean the house music is okay. Listening to it live, it's not the best in the world in my opinion, but it's okay live.
Okay, so that was Jason Ross, and his set went on for an hour. And then, oh, goodness, did you hear that? That was my throat. That was weird.
Oh, wow.
And then, next to come out for an hour and a half long set was the man of the hour,
Jeff.
The man of the night. What?
Jeff.
No, his name is Seven Lions.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Lyons. Mr. Lyons came out.
Mr. Lyons. Mr. Jeff Lyons.
So, so before we get into Seven Lions, there is definitely, I think we've touched on this on the podcast. There is definitely a difference between seeing someone at a festival and seeing their I don't know what else to call it besides their full-fledged show, where they bring all of their own equipment to the venue and set all of their stuff up, and it's their actual stage using their actual equipment and so on. Like, there is definitely a difference. Because we've now seen Seven Lions at a festival, which he was great, but then we also saw him at a venue where he's using all of his actual tour equipment, like where he's on the tour, and we're seeing everything that he's been taking from venue to venue on the tour. And there is definitely a difference. It's definitely better on the tour, I would say.
Yeah, I would kind of also say the same thing. Yeah, I will also agree with you in that, seeing a person in a festival compared to seeing them bring their own equipment to a on tour with them and seeing their visuals, their design, their own design of what they want for their stage. Yeah, I would think there was a huge difference there.
I mean, there definitely is. I mean, you can only go so far with like screen visuals. Those might be the same, but even so, like Seven Lions' stage, first of all, he's got the same screen that AU5 and Jason Ross used. That's in front of the what would you call it, the DJ?
The front deck or whatever.
The front deck.
Yeah.
And then he's got a massive screen behind him. It's just basically like a movie screen, pretty much, I would say. And so like his set went on for an hour and a half, and I'll have to say right now, I was fully entertained the entire hour and a half.
Oh, yeah, me too.
It was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And the entire time I was, like, there is a lot to dissect in here, but, like, because his show, first of all, the music is beautiful. The visuals are absolutely gorgeous. Like, the most similar DJ experience I would compare it to would be Illenium, because Illenium's visuals are like Seven Lions' visuals are very similar to Illenium's. But, and I was telling Alex this on the way out, I have, like, after seeing this Seven Lions show, Seven Lions is back on top for me above Illenium. Like, I enjoyed the Seven Lions show more than I have enjoyed any live Illenium show that I've seen.
So I can somewhat agree with you on this because, yes, we have seen Illenium in an outside venue and in an inside venue.
Yeah.
I'm interrupting you. when we
Get out.
when we went to go see him at Guilt last year, he wasn't on his. He was just about to release his Awake album, and he was playing some songs from his Awake album. Not a lot of people knew some of those songs from that album. So again, some of the songs that he played, I didn't know. I mean, again, personally, he didn't play. He did play songs that I did know, which I loved. But this was when before his Awake tour, where he was bringing Sid the Sky and Dabin, and he was bringing his like really ultimate like drum pads and all this stuff and all of his equipment. So for that one, he just had his little side set drum pads, and then he used just regular deck. Like he had the two turntables and a mixer. So when we went to go see him at EDC for this year, he did bring his Awake 2.0 set, but he didn't bring, I guess, his stage. He brought all of his equipment, but he didn't bring his stage. So he brought everybody. He brought Set the Sky. He brought Dabin. He brought, the other. There's two other guys that I don't know their names.
I think one of them was like KJ something.
Yeah, something like that. And then he brought all those people, and he brought all their equipment, but he didn't bring his own stage, which I guess is okay in my opinion. But I think you're right in saying that we need to see the full-fledged show, the full-fledged set of the Awake 2.0 set. Yes, we have seen. We have seen Illenium in an inside and an outside. We've seen him with his visuals. We've seen him with his Awake 2.0 set, but we haven't seen the full-fledged Awake 2.0 set.
Like, that's why we have to categorize each show depending on what it actually is. Because the way I see it, you've got three different types of shows. You've got a show where you saw a DJ at a festival. And that could be you saw him in the afternoon or at night with all the visuals. Obviously, if it's in the afternoon, you're not going to get very many visuals. But you're still going to get the music. If you see a DJ at a festival, I still don't think it's as good as a full-fledged show. Now, a full-fledged show would be that DJ is on tour and they have all of their own equipment. They're going from venue to venue and setting up an entire stage. That is different from a DJ that's on tour that's just going from like nightclub to nightclub or venue to venue and just, setting up on the stage. Like setting up on like when we saw Illenium, it was just at a nightclub and he just used the screens that were already at the nightclub. You see what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's technically three different types of shows.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. But I can't agree with you that how you see that Seven Lions so far is top dog more than Illenium has been for right now of the sets that you've seen of both of them.
Yeah, I mean I would say that, but to Illenium's credit, we have not seen a quote unquote full-fledged Illenium show. I don't know what else to call it besides full-fledged, but does that comparison make sense now? Like
yeah.
The difference between a festival show, like I don't know what to call, like a festival show, a nightclub show, and a full-fledged show.
Yeah,
like obviously you'd want to see everybody's full-fledged show because that's going to get you the best experience per each DJ. But
right.
Obviously not every DJ does that. Obviously not every DJ can do that. So yeah, again, I would say, and if you think about it, like we've only technically seen, I don't know how many different actual full-fledged shows have we even seen. We've seen Excision, we've seen Seven Lions,
and I have seen Snails.
You've seen Snails. I did not see Snails.
Which I don't know why you didn't, because
I was busy. I had lots of things to do.
Yeah, busy with sports.
I was busy.
Yeah, busy with not caring about Snails. I'm sorry, Freddie, if you ever listen to this.
Okay. So apparently you and Snails are on, first name basis. Apparently.
That's right.
So okay,
because I've seen him with his own show.
Yes, we all know. We've both seen Excision. You've seen Snails. I've seen Odessa, which was a great full-fledged show, by the way. Okay. Great full-fledged show.
I can't really personally say that I've seen a full-fledged Bear Grylls show.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you have technically seen Bear Grylls where he was on tour, and he brought his own stage, but he didn't actually bring the full stage, right?
Yeah, because the venue that I saw him at, the stage was too big. Why would you go to... Well, okay, again, we've already talked about that.
You mean the venue was too small?
Yeah, the venue was too small because the stage was... First, yeah, the venue was small, so I guess they couldn't set up the whole entire stage.
Yeah. Well, I've also seen Dat Sick. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, Dat Sick's full-fledged stage was not as good as Excision's. Definitely not as good as Seven Lions. Yeah, but yeah. All that to say, I mean, like I said, there is definitely a difference, and I am so glad that we saw Seven Lions' full-fledged stage because it was amazing, and in my opinion, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, it was a reminder to me. Because I have been listening to Seven Lions. Seven Lions was one of my, and I think yours too, one of our first DJs that we really got into when we first started listening to electronic music. And that would have been around 2012, 2013, 2014. And that's technically when Seven Lions started to take off.
Yeah, you're right about that. Now, again, like, you know, around that time era, I was just, like, mainly listening to dubstep, and I didn't really care for anything else. But, you know, now I'll listen to any kind of bass music. But, again, it's you just helping me see the limelight and, like, getting me open to, you know, different kinds of bass music. And I'm really glad that I love Seven Lions today. And, yeah, he's really, really good live as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great live show. Seven Lions' energy at his live show. It's up there. Like, he's almost headbang as much as, like, Bass Nectar and Cookie Monster do on every song.
Oh, yeah.
And as far as the music that he plays, it is a fantastic, diverse variety of glitchy house music all the way to, he's got hard dubstep. I think he threw in a couple of trap songs. I've seen Seven Lions before where he threw in a couple of drum and bass songs as well. I don't remember any drum and bass on this show particularly.
Yeah, I don't think I can remember any drum and bass. I want to say there was maybe one, but I can't remember fully.
Well, either way, the music that Seven Lions does the best is his epic sounding future bass music. And I would put him on the same tier as Illenium as far as that type of music is concerned, because and when he drops these songs live, like, he's got, obviously the crowd is very into it. The visuals are gorgeous, and we'll get into that in a second. And his energy is great, and the song is beautiful. It is a great experience. I would say an AU5 show, like a show that had AU5 and Seven Lions and maybe some other DJs in that type of the EDM world realm. That is a great show for beginners, like new EDM listeners.
You know what? Maybe you know what would have made this show even better?
What?
Is if you instead of Jason Ross, you know who I'm going to say?
Wait, let me guess.
Okay.
You mean like realistically?
Yeah, realistically.
Jason Ross with someone?
Yes. To make this, you know, concert even better.
Said the Sky? Or Griffin?
A couple good choices. Kaivon.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I think if you took out Jason Ross and inserted Kaivon in that, I think that would have been
I would have been
a whole lot
so
better.
Hyped for that. I would have been super hyped for that. And nothing against Jason Ross. I mean, I think it's good that they have Jason Ross on this tour because he brings more of the house, more of the house sound. Because, I mean, when it gets to Seven Lions is playing everything. And so it's good to have a mix of kind of glitchy future dubstep sounding with AU5, which Seven Lion does. And then on top of that, have Jason Ross playing 30, 40 minutes worth of house music and trance music, which Seven Lions also plays. Because Seven Lions honestly produces music all over the place.
Yeah, he does.
He's a very diverse producer. But I think it's good to have a predominantly house DJ opening for Seven Lions. I would love to see Kaivan though. Would love to see that.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to get into the visuals because Seven Lions has a lot of. Is it a story? Would you consider it a story?
I definitely would consider it a story.
What's the plot of the story? A red-headed girl is walking through the wilderness and has a bunch of epiphanies.
Okay.
That's the plot. That's the plot of the Seven Lions show.
Okay.
I mean, I was just making a joke. I didn't know if you actually had a.
Well, I mean, it's at like one or two girls are in all the visuals. It's the same actresses that play the girls, and I guess you can say that the redheaded girl is on a journey to do something, and that something is I guess to find the secret of whatever this diamond artifact is. I guess I don't.
Yeah, like one of the central themes is there is this diamond-shaped UFO that is constantly hovering over different lands, and I mean let's be honest. I think it's mostly there for just the epicness because Seven Lions is obviously throwing down an epic show and playing a lot of epic music. The visuals are absolutely gorgeous because you get all these different and they're I think some of them are computer generated, but some of them it's actually it was actually filmed. There was actually one part that really had my hair standing on my arms where he's dropped some song. I have no idea what it was. It was a more harder future bass song if I remember correctly. Excuse me, but he dropped a harder future bass song, and the visuals behind him, it's basically the camera is speeding across the land through different rock formations, and it reminded me of you remember the whole pod racing scene in the first Star Wars?
Yeah.
Do you know exactly what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I know that sounds cheesy, but when you're there and you're hearing the music and you're seeing the visuals basically thundering through rock formations really fast. It is so cool. It's awesome. And there was one song that he dropped where there's a bunch of space visuals and it's a bunch of different constellations coming around and doing stuff. Mm-hmm. And you're basically in outer space, and I don't know. I loved it. I loved the epic themed visuals. Now, let us get into something deep. Throughout Seven Lions' show, if you've ever seen him live, you may notice 6 or 7 different symbols that keep flashing on the screen. Did you notice these?
I will actually say I did not really notice, and maybe when you start talking about them, maybe I will.
Okay, but what? We talked about this after the show. Because remember, there on all of Seven Lions' merch, he's got these 7 different symbols, and if you really pay attention during the live show, he flashes the symbols throughout the show on the screen. You don't remember seeing that at all?
I mean, okay. I remember us talking about it. I just don't remember them being flashed on the visuals.
What?
I mean, I definitely remember, the diamond 3D
the
shape.
upside down star, the upside down pentagram. Okay. Anyways,
maybe I can't remember.
Okay. Well, for the listeners, if you're at a Seven Lions show, pay attention. Well, you don't have to, but pay attention to the visuals, and you'll see these 7 different symbols that keep getting flashed randomly. They're obviously integrated within whatever is happening on the screen, but you'll notice that there's about 6 or 7 or 8 different symbols that keep getting flashed. So I was really interested in figuring out what these different symbols mean, or what these different symbols meant. And they're on basically all of it, well, not all of his, but on several of his different, different shirts that he sells in his merch store, and so you can get a really good look at what they are. And there's 7 of them, and I've done some extensive research, and by extensive I mean 15 minutes before we started recording this podcast. I think I know where the symbols come from, and what, not exactly what they mean. I know where they come from, and if I'm correct, it might shock you.
Okay.
I think they're witchcraft symbols.
Well, I mean, I can understand that because that's kind of basically what was going on in his visuals.
It kind of was. That, like, I mean, obviously this is all for entertainment. I don't think he's actually, really getting into witchcraft or whatever.
Witchcraft. He's like, doing all of his moves up on stage. It's a bunch of witchcraft of him.
I mean, it might be. But, I keep looking at them, and I kept Googling stuff because, I'm a very extensive researcher over here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're witchcraft symbols. So, like, one of them is obviously the upside down star. It's technically a pentagram.
Mm-hmm.
And after some more additional extensive research, the upside down pentagram actually means it's actually a symbol for protection, and the different points stand for the different elements on the earth, which are land, air, fire, water, and the spirit. And so, obviously, like you said, throughout the entire show, there's several different female actresses that are kind of learning witchcraft, I guess. Like, they're learning the different spells. That's what it looks like. It kind of is what it looks like.
And, like, they're getting their power from that diamond or whatever.
Yeah, and so I couldn't figure out what the diamond is. I don't know if if it has a deeper meaning or not. But another one of the symbols is two sets of intertwined triangles pointed at each other, and I think a triangle in the witchcraft world, which, by the way, this is not a witchcraft podcast. This is a bass podcast, so literally don't listen to anything I'm saying, because I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, the triangle in the witchcraft era stands for water. Well, an upside down triangle stands for water, and so he's got one of these symbols where he's got, like I said, two sets of intertwined triangles pointed at each other, and so if they're going in opposite directions, wouldn't that mean that one stands for fire and the other stands for water? Because in the witchcraft world, the upside down triangle stands for water, and the right side up triangle stands for fire.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is this like a balance of opposites type thing?
I guess so.
I don't know. It just seems like it's breaking news here on Basscast that Seven Lines is trying to perform a seance in all of his different concert goers. So yeah, that's it. Seven Lions is a wizard.
Yes, confirmed.
Confirmed. I wouldn't look too much at the symbols. I think it's more just there for the show. Like, I actually did kind of Google it around and see if there was any meaning as far as like one that he's put out, and there really isn't. So I don't think there's actually a real like symbolism in there. But yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting that he's at least got them in there.
Yeah, me too.
So, like I said, yeah, Seven Lines went on for about an hour and a half, and it was an epic show. It was an epic show. I would say it definitely in my top 5 favorite shows I've ever seen.
I mean, like, out of all the shows, like Inside and Outside?
Well,
we just want to consider it to be Inside.
Inside, yeah, I would say definitely one of my top 5 Inside shows I've ever seen.
So for Inside shows, that was probably number 3 in my opinion.
After
for me. So Excision first, then Snails, then that.
See, I think if I had seen the Snail Show, I think that still would have beat the Snail Show for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Then you have no idea, Evan. Again,
man, you just hype up the Snail Show like nothing.
Dude, after Cookie Monster exited the stage, they had like a 10-minute break for everyone's ears and everyone to like, get a little rest before the main event. They literally pumped up the bass like 300 million times much than they did for Cookie Monster. It was awesome, never heard, and it was crazy.
I have never heard such exaggerating in my life.
Good. It was so good. And that's what I expect out of a dubstep concert, for a headliner.
So it was so good, but it wasn't better than Excision Show.
Oh, no. Not at all. It was nowhere. No, it was not as good as Excision's.
Not as good or nowhere near?
It was not as good as Excision's.
Let's start. We should start rating our, like, full-fledged shows that we see.
Okay.
So, rate Excision and Snails.
Out of what?
Well, okay, you just you rate Excision's show, and then I'll just match that rating, because I've seen the Excision show also, and then I'll put, like, Datsik on there and Odessa.
Okay, out of what?
Like 0 to 10.
Okay.
And you can do, like, 9.1, whatever.
Okay, so...
Like, I would say, like, we would put Excision at, like, what, 9.4 or 5?
Yeah, somewhere around that way. I would say like a 9.
9.0?
Yeah.
Okay. Where would you put Snails in?
So for Snails, I would probably put him at like an 8.8.
Really? That high?
Yes.
I was thinking 7 lines for me would be like, if Excision's a 9.0, I'd give 7 lines like an 8.2.
Yeah, I would about the same. 8.2 or an 8. Because I'm taking in all the effects of what I've seen and plus what I was watching at his show.
Right. I might give Odessa like an 8.4. It is a cool show and it is unique. It's a unique show. Datsik, though, I've seen Datsik's full-fledged show. I'd give Datsik like a 6.4.
Really?
Yeah. When I saw it, all I had to compare it to was Excision's, was the Paradox, and it was nowhere near as good as the Paradox. Nowhere near.
Did you see Datsik before you did Zomboy?
Oh yeah, I've seen Zomboy full-fledged show. Ooh. Shoot.
Ooh, shoot.
Actually, I would say Zomboy. Ooh. This is gonna upset you. I think Datsik's was a little bit better than Zomboy's. Zomboy didn't have a ton of visuals.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he have just like a screen behind him and that was it?
Yeah, like a screen and some colored strobes on either side. Yeah. But I liked Datsik's music. I liked Datsik's sound more than I did Zomboy's sound. I know you're different. I know you like Zomboy more.
Yeah, I can't agree with you on that, honestly.
Well then, yeah, you'll just have to catch him next time he does like a Rotten Roll tour or something.
Which I hope is going to be soon.
Might be. We'll see. Anything else on the 7-line show, the Journey 2 tour?
No. Just, that was really, really good. So far, I think it's been the third best, inside venue live show that I've seen to date.
Full-fledged inside.
Yeah, full-fledged. Yeah, full-fledged. Out of all the shows, okay, maybe that's what we should categorize it. Out of all the full-fledged shows that we've seen, it's been the third best that I've seen.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I would just say that if you've got friends that are maybe looking into EDM music, this is a perfect show to take them to. This is a perfect show.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to get into mosh pits at a 7-line show. It's more of a plur show, but the music it's just epic music. It's the only thing I can say. Epic music. All right, I think that will do it for us. Thank you for listening. Take care and good night.
We'll see y'all later.